Hey guys, happy Monday, it's Eli. I'm kind of having to make this one fairly quickly, so I didn't really have a lot of time to do my vocal warm-up. So my voice is my regular voice today, it's not my hello guys, that voice. So, okay, so this week's topic is coming out. And whether we have come out, whether we plan on coming out, what our coming out experience was, all that fun stuff. So, my most painful coming out experience was coming out to my parents. It would have been a lot different had I voluntarily come out to them, but instead, what happened was, it was Trans Day of Visibility. I can't remember the exact date of that, but that was either May or March, one of those months, you know. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna post on Tumblr. That's fun. So, since I'm like, Tumblr is fun. Yay, Tumblr. So, back when the most recent TDOV happened, I still identified as gender fluid, and so I posted about that on Tumblr and included pictures and stuff, and I was very open and proud and visible, and so I posted that, and it was really nice, and it was very comforting to see everybody else's posts, and it eased my dysphoria and made me a bit more comfortable in my own skin for a while to realize, there's other people like me, and my post is just one of many, and that I belong in this group, and that this is, who I am. And so, I can't remember if it was that same day or the next day, my dad called me into his office, because he works from my house. So, I go in there, and my mom's in there too, and basically just say, Dad turns around his laptop screen, and wouldn't you know it, there's the post. He's like, what's this? And I was like, oh crap. So I went to explain, and that I didn't see why I should lie about it and pretend it wasn't true. So, yeah, my parents were very unsupportive. They told me there's only two genders, I was born with female chromosomes, I have boobs, I was born a girl and I am a girl, basically, and it was just not a fun experience, and it just wasn't super dandy. And then after a while, things kind of blew over and it became the huge elephant in the room that none of us talked about. They told me they weren't going to try to stop me because they knew that would just encourage me to be trans more. I don't know. Parent logic is weird logic. Anyway. But what they did do was tell me that I was wrong and pretend they didn't know. That was one of the things that bothered me the most. So I would dress like this, I would dress more masculine, and they'd be like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, you know exactly why. And then, anyway. And so recently, well, a while ago, I can't remember, I've probably mentioned this in my videos before, but in 7th and 8th grade, I was in therapy for an unrelated reason, and it was extremely Christian counseling, and I hated every minute of it. It's not that I have anything against Christians. I consider myself a kind of borderline Christian. I don't know. I still need to look into it more, but it was just not a very fun experience. And eventually, I got out of therapy, and that was very nice. And I was so relieved. And then after my parents found out that I was trans, they put me back in the same therapy. And so that therapy basically consists of my therapist giving me homework that is to read specific passages out of the Bible, telling me that homosexuality is a sin, even though homosexuality and sexuality in general has nothing to do with gender. But they don't. My parents and my therapist and everybody, except for you guys and the community, they just don't believe that. They won't trust me in that. And my therapist is always telling me, well, if you want to be all masculine and stuff, why not just be a tomboy? I'm like, because I'm not a boy. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, anyway. So yeah, that's basically my coming out story. It's not super shiny and happy. I was in quite a lot of depression after that my parents found out, mainly because I didn't come out by choice. It was a complete accident. And since then, my dad has found every single bit of social media I have and is following me and watching me on literally every platform there is. And I'm not allowed to lock my door anymore. I'm barely allowed to keep it closed. And they want to know the username and password to every account I have so that they can read all my messages, everything. I have literally zero privacy. And so basically what I'm trying to say is, if you have a choice in when you come out, which most of the time you should, but for me I didn't, but if you do, be sure to come out when you are ready. I definitely wasn't. Be sure to come out when you have a plan B if your parents don't approve, or whoever you're coming out to doesn't approve. If I were 18 right now, I would already be gone. If I was able to devise a plan B, or if I could have waited and come out when I wanted to, I probably would have come out when I was 18. And if they say you're wrong, then I'll be like, screw you, get in a car and go. So, I mean, that may not be the best solution for everybody, but for me personally, I can't wait to get out of the house. That's another thing. My parents are not wanting to let me learn how to drive because I think they're afraid I'll just drive away, which sounds really nice. But anyway, so, oh crap, okay, 9 minutes. I'm sorry, long video. Makes up for last one. Last one was a short video, right? It was either short or long, I don't remember. Also, sorry, I'm posting a bit later today. Reasons. Anyway, okay. Eli the trans guy says bye.